Hello, my scrappy friends. It is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So what I did with this layout is I started with that beautiful wreath paper, but I wanted more. So I took that second paper that I just showed you right at the start with my little scissors going chop, 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 and I fussy cut all the flowers off that second paper. And you can see them just over to the right-hand side there, all facing the wrong way with little bits of foam stuck on their backs. And I'm just going to use these to kind of beef up the wreath display, picture, ephemera thing here. Words would be great right now. I just wanted the wreath to look a bit fuller and have a bit more dimension and just have a little bit more going on with it. So I'm going to add these flowers. I also fussy cut all the buds and all of the little bits off as well, just to help beef out the wreath. And I think it was a really good call, if I do say so myself. I think it ends up looking really, really sweet, and I really love the effect of all these extra flowers popping off the page. I had originally planned to make my own wreath. I kind of had forgotten that these collection had a wreath. I don't know, I'm mad. But just the flowers on their own weren't enough to fill a wreath by myself. So I am super glad that I actually looked through the 12 by 12s again and discovered that, of course, this collection came with a wreath, and I could use my fussy cut flowers to just build on top of that. It was the perfect way to lay out these photos, which I love. I hope you are enjoying this collection this month. I really love the rainbows in this collection. I am not going to lie, when I first looked at it, I thought, gosh, how am I going to use this? This is a bit tricky. But these layouts have just flown off the page for me. I think I made my layouts, usually I am over an hour creating each layout. And both of these, the raw footage that I have to work with for my camera is only 16 minutes, which means with all my fiddling around and figuring it out first and just testing things out, there's no way I was working for a whole hour on each of these layouts. So I am just loving these papers and just how beautiful they all look together. When I was trying to think of a title, I was tempted to use the words Moulin Rouge, but I remember once Janet Madison from RTS Scrapbooking giving a really good piece of advice of why waste a title on something that it already says in your photos. So my photos already say the Moulin Rouge, so it's quite clear where I am and what I'm doing. So I really tried to have a think of what might be a different set of words that I could use to title this layout. And I had the options of, talking about my friends that I'm with or the night out that I had, but I ended up going with the word spectacular, because from the original Moulin Rouge movie, there is that entire song, of course, spectacular, spectacular, so exciting, the audience will stop and cheer. And I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to use that. Now, those of you playing along at home, I have absolutely spelt spectacular wrong. Well, it's not wrong. I'm just missing a letter. The rest of it's right. I haven't put the R on the end. I did spectacular, not spectacular. I have fixed that, but you will never see that fixed because I've already taken my photos, already filmed all of my video. So as far as you are concerned watching me at home, I have made a spelling error, but I have already corrected that. I have put, to be honest though, I cheated a little bit. I've put a black R on because you can see that letter, but I didn't even bother putting a white R on because it'll be completely under a flower. So I was a little bit cheeky, but I have fixed that now. So in my albums at home, it is correct. I do apologize that for you watching along, it is spelled incorrectly, and I'm really sorry if you're one of those amazing English spellers and this is going to completely throw you for the whole rest of the video. Please forgive me. I have fixed it. I then went into my stash and pulled out these little pebbles, puffy circles. They are from a Happy Cake Day collection that I have for birthdays. And I pulled these out instead of the hearts that came in the kit because I thought they had more color matching. I thought there was a purple, and turns out I was wrong. There really is no more colors than the hearts had in the first place, and I needn't have bothered. But now that they were out, I just decided to put those on. When I was cleaning up, I found one more flower, so I popped that onto the page, and I just felt like this layout needed something else. The ephemera that came in the kit didn't really match. I didn't want to add different florals, and the leaves just weren't quite right. So I decided to use the branding strips. I did read the beautiful rainbow colored sentiments that came in the tiny word phrases, but none of those sentiments really worked for me. And I just really loved this idea of using these black tiny words from the branding strips, because myself and one of my friends are actually wearing black and parts of the photo are quite dark, and I just thought it helped tie in the black title as well. So I actually really liked that choice of using the black tiny words there. I do have to cut them out, which is fine, but they're not as perfect as if they were cut on a machine, but that's okay. It's working. So once I finish cutting all these, so boring for you to watch, I know, I am going to glue them on. I ummed and ahed about gluing them on with foam, but because the extra flowers are already on with foam, it would mean that these words would be like double foamed, and that's quite a lot of lump and bump, and it takes up so much room in your albums. It really limits how many layouts you can get into an album, so I decided I would just stick them on flat. So I'm really happy with how this layout turned out. I think it's really super cute. I'm not sure it has anything to do with Moulin Rouge, but that's okay. I just really love the way it looks, and I love those rainbow flowers. Finishing it off with a few golden splatters, and here are the close-up photos. Please remember, I have added a black AR to the title, I promise. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to share my next rainbow layout with you next week. I still have a couple more layouts for December before I take a little break and start again in January, so I can't wait to see you all soon.